Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy vicslanghope, and I got another video for y'all. Today's video is about the first law in the 48 laws of power, which is never outshine the master. Now, I know I'll be telling y'all people to go read this, go get some game, but a lot of people don't want to read it, or they don't got the time, or they don't want to listen to the audio. So I'm going to be giving y'all some game about the laws individually. So perhaps, put my little spin on it so y'all could kind of like get what I'm trying to give y'all, So let's read the judgment real quick. It says, always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go far in displaying your talent, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Now, this is a very, very, very deep one, and a lot of us kind of like mess up when it comes to this, right? Now, when it comes to dealing with people, most people have, damn near all people have insecurities. And this is why I tell people to get rid of your insecurities, because they will hold you back. And the people that have the most insecurities are the most vulnerable to an attack. So I tell people to work on your weaknesses and get rid of them so that you don't have to succumb to some of these things. Now, there's a saying, right, that a smart person could play dumb, but a dumb person can't play smart. And there's a lot of power and merits in there, right? Now, I'm going to give you a few examples. Now, for example, when it comes to Malcolm X, right, there's some reports that say that Elijah Muhammad said that at one point that Malcolm X was getting too powerful, or that he was becoming too strong, right? And some people say this is part of the reason why they shut him down. They kind of, it was to discipline him, and it was also because, to kind of like put him in check, like, yo, bro, you wilding, you're doing a little too much. And again, I wasn't there, so that's why I'm saying this reports. But if you really think about it, if you view Elijah Muhammad as being the master, right, and Malcolm X trying to please this man, and him doing the works for this man realized, again, the reports, this man realized this man is becoming too strong. And when you become too strong and too powerful, because let's keep it real, Malcolm X was the one that kind of like fanned them flames, which had a lot of people coming into the fold of the Nation of Islam, right? So if we can understand that, then you can understand how when you're the representative and you're the person that is constantly being seen, and you're out there in the faces of people, and people like the way you talk and the way you move and your talent, your natural talent, then at some point that could become challenging to the person that you're trying to serve, which was Elijah Muhammad at the time. So that's just an example of how don't outshine the master, right? I give you another example with police. Sometimes when police stop you, and a lot of us, we got this thing about, that's why you got to know your rights when the police stop you and they try to violate you. But how often does that really work, right? Because I've been in plenty of situations, and other people could tell you this, when the police stop you and you start telling them, I know my rights and I know this and I know that and the third, a lot of times they feel intimidated. They feel like you're challenging their authority. And again, this goes back into you're trying to outshine the master by telling the person that is in authority that you know your rights. Or it's almost like you're trying to say you know better than them. And a lot of times that does not work to your advantage. Now, it's a lot of other scenarios that we can apply. So I just want to give you a few correlations so y'all can see how this is detrimental. For example, you ever been in a conversation with a person? It could be your partner, it could be your boss, it could be whoever it is, right? And like they try to teach you something, or they try to give you some information, and you might know this information already. But instead of you playing dumb, or you're saying like, oh, thanks for the information, I appreciate it, and letting them feel good about themselves and teaching somebody, right, something new, because a lot of people feel good when they could teach people new things. And instead of you playing dumb, like you didn't know the situation, you respond with maybe like, I already knew that, or like, oh, this is not new for me. So that doesn't really make that person, especially if they have authority over you, it doesn't make them feel good, right? If anything, if every time these people come to you with information and they try to teach you something, but you already know the information, or you're already hip to it, but then when you try to give them information and try to teach them something they don't really know, or is new information to them, then people could feel insecure and intimidated by that. That's not your fault, of course, but I'm just trying to show you how a lot of people think. A lot of people are insecure, and a lot of people have problems with just their insecurities, right? So it displays and it comes out in many different ways. So that's another example. And then sometimes you get people saying things like, oh, you think you know it all, or you think you're so smart, because that's part of their insecurities. And these things breed envy, jealousy, and all type of things, right? How many people have killed people? How many friends have set up other friends based on envy and jealousy, right? So in the streets, we could even bring this to the streets, right? When you doing certain things, like let's say you're hustling, right? And you're the up and coming dude, you could be working for this person. You could be the best, you could be the best underboss, or you could be the best worker for this person that is at the top, that is the boss. And the moment they see you coming up, the moment they see you getting out there, you doing your thing, right? For example, I don't know if y'all watch the BMF series, right? But the same thing kind of happened, right? When they try to tell the Connect, like, yo, we don't want to, we want to do our own thing. It's like, now you are a problem. Now you are competition, because it's almost like, and once you're a competitor with the person at the top, you can possibly outshine the master, right? The person that's been feeding you, the person that's been looking out for you. Another thing when it comes to this law is this, and this is just my own spin on it, right? If you know you're smarter than the so-called master, or the person that has authority over you, and you're playing dumb and you're basically manipulating the situation, are they really the master? It's another good thing, another good way to look at it, right? Because think about the president of the country. He's a figurehead. He's a puppet master. He's not really in control. He's not really the master, right? But some of us might be looking at the president like he is the master. Some of us are fooled and tricked to thinking that he is the master, right? And when it comes time to put the blame on somebody, that's usually the person that takes the fall, right? The fake master, the figurehead, the person that is, the puppet basically. So that's another thing to think about, right? And when it comes to this, never outshine the master, right? That sometimes, I think in my own spinoff, right? It's like, if you're the smarter person and the more, manipulative, I guess you want to say it, right? Then you understand the situation, so you know how to maneuver in it, right? You know how to sway the situation. And in some cases, you can get this person to kind of like do whatever it is that you want them to do, right? Because it's like you're playing to their insecurities, you're praying to their supremacy, right? You're praying to like, oh my God, you're so smart, you're so intelligent, you're so wise, you know it all. People like praise. People like the praise. That's why, like, the D riders, right? Like the D riders, they usually get places, right? They're D riding somebody, and the women are doing it, and the men are doing it, and this person that's getting praise, sometimes they look out for these people. They look out for the D riders, right? Because they're getting praise. So yeah, that's another thing that people should be mindful of when it comes to playing this game, right? Because life is a game, regardless of whether you want to accept it or not. A lot of the people who are in power, they are playing the game, right? It might be real outcomes, right, for us. It might be real stuff happening to one another, a lot of suffering, a lot of things going on. But we living in a chessboard. We living in a big chessboard where a lot of people are playing games. And I know a lot of people don't care, and a lot of people don't want to know the game, and a lot of people don't want to get hip to it. But I'm telling you this, it don't hurt to learn the game, just to kind of like maneuver and kind of like try to weed out some of these obstacles that are going on. Hey, we ain't asked to be here. We ain't asked to get raised in this type of situation, right? We ain't asked for a lot of these things, but at some point we got to realize what's going on, and we got to get hip to it. And sometimes we don't want to be willing participants of the game. But sometimes that's just what we have to do to kind of like protect ourselves and safeguard ourselves. You don't have to be an active participant, but it's good to know, just to know how to maneuver around the board. So we could see how this law applies in so many different concepts in our lives and in our society and in our relationship dynamics with whoever it is. So I think it's a very vital law. It's very important, and I think people should learn how to master it. So on that note, I'm going to be doing more of these videos, and I'm probably going to go through the whole book, the whole 48 laws, and I'm going to probably do that with other books. But let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section, man. It don't hurt to share, man. Word. Share. Share is free. It don't hurt to share. Y'all stay blessed out there. Peace.